OG Metroid. Very first in the series, Metroid 1, coming out in 1986, was a very new experience for players as far as platformers go on the NES. As you can see, the player is starting off in the middle of the screen. Every single platformer to date, as far as 1986 goes, you start off on the left. That gives the player the information that I need to go to the right, because I can't go left. That kind of hints towards the player where I need to go for the rest of this game. Really just sets up how that works. Well, Metroid's no different in that kind of concept, but you're starting off in the middle. This kind of tells the player, I can go whichever direction that I want. So naturally, people went to the right because it's an NES platformer, and that's what you do in NES platformers, which is fine. And the player will learn a bunch of valuable information by going right. Right here, immediately, I can't get up there until I learn not only how to jump, but if I just press the key, I can't make it all the way up there, so I have to learn about the fact that I have to hold it down. And I actually have to hold it down the entire time to get all the way up here. Next thing I learned is I have to be able to shoot to get this door open. So already, the two most basic mechanics in this game, jumping and shooting, the platformer and the combat, boom, I know how to do. Just like that. So now I go on to the second room and I'm introduced to 3 little enemies on the screen. It's not always 3, but 2 of which I can just go ahead and kill. I also learn from this that yellow enemies, the normal ones that I see more often, those are fine. Those are only a couple hits. And then the darker color enemies are usually more tanky. They take a couple more hits, and that's kind of visual information for the player. But I also see this last third one down at the bottom of the screen that I can't get to. I can't shoot, can't jump and shoot downwards. So I just have to keep going. I can't get there. But that tells the player there's something down there. So that enemy was placed for a very specific reason. If that enemy was placed in lower, then as far as the player knows, it could just be visual detail. So can't progress any other way than keep going straight. So onward I go, and here I see this little area right here, and you just saw that enemy go off a screen. Now the way that enemy normally behaves is that when it hits an edge, it will rotate and start climbing up that edge, and it will basically climb around the borders of the screen. Or if there's nothing to climb up on at the edge, like if it hits the edge of the screen in that direction but there's no wall to climb up, it'll just go the other direction. But on here, the enemy kept going. So that kind of tells the player that, hey, there is a way over there. That's the way forward, or a way forward. You just can't get there yet. So what's the player left to do but go left? And surprise, surprise, you can go left. Metroid was the very first game, at least platformer-wise that I know of, that allowed the player to go left. Such a bizarre concept, I know. But now that the player learns that they can do that, they start traveling back to the spawn. And hey, now I'm back at the spawn. What's here? I go left again, wow. And here we go. So, one of the things that the player starts off with is 30 health. Very, very low number. And then they only have shooting and jumping. So the player starts off very, very weak. And already, now we have our first upgrade. Boom. Just like that. And yet again, the developers do it very smartly. I can't leave here until I figure out what that upgrade is. Well, if I try all my buttons, shoot, jump, up, left, right. Press down. Oh hey, morph ball. And just like that, the player learns how to use the morph ball, what sort of situations to use it, in a way that they cannot progress until they learn that. And just by those 3 rooms, the player learns a lot of information. They learn how to jump, shoot, move, variability of their jumps, and they also realize the fact that there are places in this game that I cannot get to that I will have to backtrack from. I also learn the fact that you get stronger as you play the game. I mean, 5 minutes in, and I already have a power-up, and I am stronger now. So just with 3 rooms total, the developers have taught the player a lot, and really the fundamentals of how to play and how to explore their world. And with the limitations of the NES, I think the developers did an amazing job with this.